All right, it's Monday, April 10th. What I'm doing today is trying to get the throttle cable hooked up to the LS. So far, I just have this bracket on and I have the throttle pedal out already. So you guys don't have to watch me deal with that. But I need to get a hole drilled in the firewall for these two nuts, or for this sandwich nut. And then this will mount to the throttle pedal. So over here I have the throttle pedal. And this shield was bolted onto this left side of it right here, just like that. And then the throttle position sensor was bolted onto the right side. So it just kind of slid down into this notch and was bolted in right there. So my game plan is this green rubber stopper for the pedal whenever it's returning. I'm just gonna drill a hole 1 inch lower than it is right now. And then I will notch out to the bottom of this hole. So notch this out just enough to get the end of the throttle cable through this piece. Just enough to get that through. I might even just drill this hole out and see if I can slide it through, but I'd rather notch it out. And then that'll go through the firewall, sandwich the firewall, and then I have to shave down. So I wanted to move this down 1 inch. I have to shave the top of this down just a hair. I might even just notch it if I can, just wide enough for this to slide through, just right underneath, and then I'll put the pin back in and it should lock it into place up, down, and back and forth. So that's my game plan right now. I'll get back with an update whenever I have this moved and probably this shaved down, and then I'm trying to fit that back up so you guys can see what I did. Okay, so I'll start out here. I got the throttle cable ran through this grommet. There's like another little hole cut out for something. Luckily the throttle cable fit perfect. I drilled this hole. The best way I found to do it is I got lucky. I have a right angle drill and I just used a really short bit, like one of the shortest ones I could find. And I did it from out here because I wanted to make sure that I had enough space away from this big grommet in the firewall. So I kind of just eyeballed it, got in there with the right angle drill, and then left the drill bit through. And then you got to kind of come under here and cut the carpet back. See if I can get you up there. So I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, you got to cut the carpet back a little bit, and then sorry, it's focusing on the wrong thing, but you can see it way up there. So you got to cut the grommet back. It pops through right there. I got that tight. And now I'll show you how this looks. So I got this notched out. Don't mind that, that's a little bit of super glue so that doesn't come out. You can always grind that off later, but it fits this piece. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. But this piece notches onto there now. It's perfect. Clears perfect for the pin. I don't really want this rocking. Sorry, I'm having a hard time. I don't want this rocking too much up and down. I just want it to have a little bit, just enough to where it's not pulling on the wire in a weird way. But then whenever it closes, I also didn't want it to have too much, because obviously, as you can see, as it comes back forward, I didn't want to grind out too much right here either. So the pin will hold it more or less from rocking down too far, so whenever the pedal comes back closed, there's no chance of it catching. That's as far as it'll ever be down, so it'll clear. So just be aware of that. You don't want that hanging open. So other than that, I need to get the pedal in, get it connected on that side. Oops, sorry. Get the pedal in, get it connected inside the car, and then I'll come back out and adjust everything out here. But it's actually not that bad. You know, I'm out of breath, but it's just because I've freaking been upside down trying to cut away that carpet with the little razor blade. That's honestly the hardest part, is getting in there and cutting away the carpet and drilling out that hole just big enough for that piece to go through. And do remember that you don't want to drill it out to the size of this. There's a reason that I pulled this wire off, because this is on the inside of the car, and if you were to drill it out so that you could slide this through the firewall, then you would have to put washers on there. So drill it out just big enough for the end of that nut, whatever that piece is called, so that the end of that can go through and sandwich onto the firewall good. Unless you wanted to drill it out a little bit bigger and use like a grommet or something like this, that would probably be better, more ideal. It would seal the firewall up better. There's plenty of threads to do something like that. It was hindsight. I got it in and then thought about it afterwards. If I ever pull it out again, I will be adding one, but yeah, that's how I did it. Looks like it's gonna work pretty good. I'll show you this one more time. I wish I could have got it more square, but I hit it with the Dremel. So that's as good as it's gonna get for me. I'm gonna go ahead and get this pedal in there and then get the rest of it assembled, and then I'll show you functionality. I did bend this down, so I did the same thing. I soaked a bunch of rags and put them on top of this, and heated up this neck, water neck, intake neck, I don't even know what it's called. Put a screwdriver in and just bent it down just a hair. Just enough to where the throttle cable can still go underneath it perfectly into here without touching, and also to where this is kind of not sticking up and looking stupid. It wasn't hitting the hood, but it just looked dumb. Okay, so I got it all on. Nuts in. I probably need to tighten that little jam nut up just a little bit more, but I'm happy with this. It's pretty tight. Bottom's out like it should. Come into the car. Pretty good. I still need to zip tie the throttle position sensor out of the way, but pretty good. Not too bad. Let's go ahead and start it, I guess. Make sure she works.